Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today is a sketchbook tour and I have finished this sketchbook. So let me talk about the sketchbook first before we get into the actual contents and showing you guys like the spreads and the flip through. So the sketchbook is made by Tricky Wagon, who is a artist that I really do look up to. They also have a YouTube channel, so I'll make sure to link that below and any of their socials that I can find. So this is an A5 sketchbook. This is called Mental Vacation and it is by Tricky Wagon, and this is the back side, has the name of it right here. Let's get started with the actual contents. So this sketchbook I started in November of 2022. I'll make sure to include close-ups of any of the stuff that my camera cannot pick up. I'm actually recording this for the second time as my previous footage was actually too crusty. So yeah, we're gonna have to bear with this footage and I'll make sure to include some close-ups of stuff that you can't really see too properly. So on the inside cover, I always put the start date and the end date. So start date was November 24th, 2022. End date was April 22nd, 2023. So if I'm counting correctly, it should be about 5 months. I did label 5 to 6 months because if you just count the months, it's 6 months. But if you count the actual duration, it's 5 months. So yeah. So usually on the inside cover, alongside with kind of like the first page, I like to do like a cover introduction page to the sketchbook, and I like to make it kind of themed. I either go with an OC or I go with usually Wanu or something 17 related, and I make the front and the back kind of match as a hello and a goodbye page for the sketchbook. So this is done with gouache and alcohol markers. So this is Wanu kind of with foliage in the fear era kind of look. Next up, we have some watercolor doodles. So because this is thicker paper, I actually really like painting, usually in this kind of sketchbook. This was done with mechanical pencil, and then I went with watercolor washes, and then went with a ballpoint pen to make some of the sketches appear darker. So all of these are just doodles of Wanu that I have photos just saved on my phone, just randomly. And down here, I was testing a bunch of different pens to see whether or not they dry properly on this paper. Next up, we have some planning. So apologies if you can't see these quite well, but these are basically just sketches from a planning session of Sakumare from Ensemble Stars. I have some poses on a sticky note. I have a little Finana sticker right here. Basically, I haven't drawn him before, so I wanted to get some practice. I wanted to figure out a little bit of the composition. Yeah. So just pencil sketches, more pencil sketches, so more planning for a video, for composition for the Etheria piece. And then I have Ike and Albin sketches from their collab from a while back. And then this one is of just Scaramouche or The Wanderer. So this is actually from December 12th, and you can see that I think in about 2-ish weeks I only did like 3 pages. The sketchbook was extremely slow and then really kicks it off near the end, so that's why this one I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with the sketchbook. The next ones I have is of my OC Masaki and kind of more winter or kind of colder attire. So just him in a bunch of kind of like sweaters, coats, anything that's warm to keep him nice and warm and toasty. So these are done with gouache. Also done a video on this one. Next up, I have some sketches of Masaki right here. So pencil sketches of the concept of masks and flowers. And then mixed media kind of thing right here, which is mostly alcohol markers and then some colored pencils, I believe, and fine liners. So yeah, Masaki, who's my OC. Next up, we have something to cover up that alcohol marker bleed through, which is done in gouache. So it's a spread of Tsukasa Suo, who is from Ensemble Stars as well. So yeah, I really like this one because I really like the lighting on his hair, and I love the red and the kind of this teal color together. I think it looks really pretty. So done in gouache. Next up, we have Tinari and Goro, which are done with kind of the water-based markers or fine liners. So just really simple sketches right here, kind of playing with a different color palette. So we got kind of purples, purples, browns, and greens. And then this one's kind of the primary colors right here. So yellow, blue, and red. Painting a Masaki again. I believe this was done with a reference, just because I wanted to practice this kind of lighting on the face and on the fabric and the hair. So my OC Masaki, done in gouache. Some stickers here and some swatches of water-based markers. I just wanted to re-swatch some of the colors because I don't remember what they look like. Next up, we have a spread of Ayaka in her new outfit, and basically these are done in gouache. I believe I have a video on it, but I really like the vibrancy of this, so I think it looks really cute. Not entirely finished, but I think still very cute for the most part. Next up, we have some water-based markers and ballpoint pen sketches of Longa from Skate. And I think I was just in a skate mood. I don't really draw skate fan art, so this is kind of new to me. Next up, we have my OC Sato and Akemi. I drew this during Valentine's Day, or around Valentine's Day. So this is my progress from end of November to mid-February, which is very little. This is also done in gouache. Next up, we have water-based markers and ballpoint pen sketches of Tsukasa. Kind of picking out colors for like a limited color palette. Next up, we have a spread of Alba Knox, who is part of Nijisanji-en, and I just wanted to pick, once again, limited color palette and kind of go over with some fine liners and water-based markers. Next up, we have Dea. So I did not complete the spread at all, and I filled it up with a bunch of different things on different days, so it's very ugly of a spread in my opinion. But yeah, here's Dea. I wish I finished this one, but I really don't like how I drew her face, so kind of abandoned it. Next up, we have Baiju. So these were done with pencil crayons, and this one was done with pencil crayons and ballpoint pen. Kind of looks derpy. After that, we have Kave. So Kave done with mechanical pencil, and then we have some accents of water-based markers all the way around with some of his more like accented colors for his outfit. After that, I have these spreads. So this is kind of like morning attire Masaki done with the fine liner and then the water-based markers once again. And then after that, I have the nighttime version right here. I think this one's really cute, and I also like the big one right here too. This one's so cute. Can't really see these that well, but it's just like a little bit of notes and planning for my Sumeru Boys idol AU that I want to do. So this was Al Haytham, and then I didn't really sketch anymore after that. And you can see that there's marker bleed through, which is for this spread, which I really like the colors for this. Alcohol markers, and then water-based marker on top for the actual line work, just to keep the color consistency a little bit on the lighter side, because I want to have carrot colors, which is the pink and the blue, because this is 17 in Carrot Land. So just some doodles of them from screenshots that I've taken during that fan meeting. Next up is my OC Koji. So this is done in gouache, and then these were done with the water-based markers. I actually really like this one. It's very vibrant and it's very cute. After that, I did another painting of Jonghan, which is from 17, and also this is based off of Carrot Land. I just really like this hair. It's really pretty on him, so yeah. Just a random Bennett spread. Didn't really feel like sketching with pencil in this sketchbook as much. I was kind of struggling with it, so yeah, just some Bennett sketches. Mika sketches, and some planning for a different illustration. So Mika was because I find him a little bit hard to draw, so I wanted to do some prep and planning before I commit to drawing him digitally. So here are some sketches done with pencil crayon and pencil. These little sticky notes have kind of like the planning that I had for the next illustration and another one after this. So if you guys watched the video for this one, basically I wanted to do a redemption for this. I didn't really like how this one came out, so I needed a redemption. This is done with gouache, by the way, so it's supposed to be Wonu, and I was trying to do foliage in like a wooded window and stuff. Didn't turn out how I would like it to, so yeah. After that, I did some Ayaka sketches, which was done for a watercolor piece, which I also made a video about. I was just planning out how to showcase her outfit. So composition and then poses for the outfit. After that, we have some sketches of Ike Eveland, so just pencil sketches, and then accented the page with some pencil crayons just to give it a little bit of color, so yellow and blue, and then just some pencil sketches of Ike, and a little cauldron at the top. After that, we have Hiro, which is from Ensemble Stars, and I actually sketched like this a couple of times in the sketchbook. So basically, I would sketch with a fairly light colored pencil, and then after that, I will go ahead and do all the pencil work, which was done with a mechanical pencil, and then I'll go back in with the pencil crayons to kind of like color everything else in. Pink I did for the sketching because it's kind of on the lighter side. I think these turned out actually pretty cute. This one's kind of like a study that I found a reference on Pinterest just to get the lighting. And this is the redemption one from that gouache piece. They look vastly different. Similar concept, but different approach. This one's done with alcohol markers instead of gouache, and it has more of a brighter, more saturated color, kind of color scheme going on, and it kind of reads very different from the gouache one. After that, I needed to cover up the bleed through because there was a lot of ink seeping through, even though this paper is quite thick. I just put 2 craft paper post-it notes on top and drew Hiro with the same method as before, and then drew Hiro again because I like this color combination quite a bit. This is actually the spread that accidentally had the corrupted video file that I accidentally uploaded as a blank video. So these are just kave sketches with the same method as the ones I did with Hiro. Similar color palette to the one that I did of Hiro, it's just that this one I was focusing more on yellows rather than the reds. Okay, I have to explain this a little bit. You're probably seeing a lot of text. I don't know if you can read it. If you can, don't. I guess it's just like me taking notes about like prices, little size stuff for zines. So it says, let's make a zine up here, and I planned out a character. She actually is wearing a dress very similar to a character I designed when I was in junior high. But basically I wanted kind of like a plain character, someone with just black hair, plain white dress, very neutral expression that I could kind of just play around with. And then she would have probably, I'm thinking light blue eyes to kind of more like pale gray eyes, so I can kind of fuss with the color palette later. But my zine idea is that I want to make a flower zine. I've been planning this for a while back, a few years ago, but I never executed it. So I'm gonna try to do that, but every so often I want to make an illustration with the character, with the said flower as an illustration, and I might do one of Masaki instead of this character. But I also have a boy version, because maybe I'll just do 2 characters of this character and the boy version for the illustrations. That, or I'll just use Masaki, because Masaki fits the flower theme very well. Her hairstyle, her outfit and stuff, and just a bunch of notes about zine printing, because it's been a while since I made a zine. After that, we have some sketches of Baiju. So these are done with watercolor, pencil, and then ballpoint pen on top. So yeah, kind of cute. I do like how the washes turned out with the ballpoint pen. I think it looks kind of neat. Oh, really large Baiju and really dumb placement of binder clips. I wish I painted those in. So yeah, here's Baiju done with gouache. Just a double spread. Didn't really finish it, but I was mostly focusing on his face. After that, we have some Masaki sketches. Like I said, I didn't really like using pencil as much in this sketchbook, and I'll probably talk about it near the end if you're interested, so I won't bombard too much information during the sketchbook tour. Tinari sketches, so pencil once again and colored pencil, and then this one's done with a ballpoint pen and a little bit of colored pencils as well. And then this one's done with just water-based markers, kind of a awkward chibi, and there's mushrooms and paw prints and some scribblings. Testing out pens in this book again. Okay, so I low-key got into Plave via some clips. I really like Yejun's voice a lot, and he's pretty cute, so yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of sketches of him. I also drew Hamin next to him because I really like the Ditto cover, and he's really cute in the video. So this was actually the start of me using 2 ballpoint pens to do a spread, and I really like the minimal colors and then playing around with the values. So I used light blue for this main sketching portion because it's on the lighter side, and then dark blue to help kind of tie everything together and push any of the dark areas that I need to. So yeah, I've been sketching like this a little bit more in the sketchbook rather than using pencil. Here are a few more, which is of my OC Akemi. So this time, instead of the light blue, I've used the kind of like orangey yellow color with the dark blue. And I think it looks really nice and it suits Akemi's color palette. So here's some sketches of him and little stars in the background. After that, I did one more spread of it, but you can notice that both the yellowy orange color and the blue are fading. I've had these pens since like, I don't know, the kind of like middle of uni, so they're not exactly new, so they don't have that much ink, I guess. And then here are the other two right here. I wrote coma, not comma. I'm an idiot. So yeah, here's some hairstyles for Akemi. I kind of like these a lot more. I really like this one, but I think it suits his personality more that he has kind of that plainer hair down hairstyle. Flower doodles. So I did the main doodle in ballpoint pen. Then I did watercolor washes, got some of the values and colors in. Then I went ahead and used a kind of a darker fine liner or kind of like a needlepoint pen to do the dark black around it because it kind of makes it look more, I don't know, like punchy in a sense because there's higher contrast. Also helps with the form a little bit. Little doodle Masaki here. Oh, I use reference for these by the way. After that, Akemi. So this was probably for a video. I just wanted to draw some outfits for him. These were also done in gouache, very similar to my Masaki ones at the beginning of the sketchbook tour. After that, I was really into Core Keeper still, and my Core Keeper character is Masaki because I decided to make him. So here's a gardener version of him with the kind of armor interpretation, a little slime, him in the little chibi form with the armor, him running away, and more gardening for him, I guess. So Core Keeper. This is done with the magenta color and the dark blue, and I think it looks really nice together. You can really make certain things appear more like black, while this one can read more with like the lighter colors and stuff. So I like mix matching a lot of the ballpoint pens recently. Another one, good example, red and blue. I've seen an Instagram post where a person, or Instagram story, where a person did like really bright red and blue ink drawings and they look super pretty. So I'm drawing Tsukasa here because I think his color scheme kind of fits this kind of aesthetic. So really tried my best to fill in the red really well so it kind of reads a little bit more solid. Yeah, I think these are cute. Kind of looks like the guy from Twisted Wonderland, but Tsukasa, okay? After that, Hito. So same concept, but a little bit more dark blue. Red's very vibrant still. So yeah, ballpoint pens. After that, this is planning for the Sumeru Idol AU that I wanted to do. So we have Sino's outfit, more of Sino's outfit, some other iterations and details that I wanted to plan out. Poses for the potential portraits that I wanted to do of them. Kave's outfit, Tinetti's outfit. They're not final outfits, it's just for me to wrap my head around some ideas. Some other outfits and notes here. Yeah, just a bunch of different scribbles, I guess. There's some bleed through that you can see, which means alcohol markers. So I wanted to do Wonu from 17 because they have the FML promotions going on soon, and then I wanted to draw him with the boxing theme from their teaser. I really like this one, super cute. I like how I simplified his face. He has no nose and it's really squished and cute. So yeah, alcohol markers and a water-based marker for the outlines and for any of the darker areas. After that, I decided to draw Masaki with the orange and green pens, but both of them were running out, so I decided to get my water-based markers to fill in some of the areas to block it out and to give some values. So that's done here. Then I switched to the black ballpoint pen with just the pastel color and did some doodles here. Sugar. So I feel like Masaki has a sweet tooth, which is why he's low on sugar. He's kind of depressed or a little bit sad. So yeah, relies on sugar. More Masaki. So right here, I have him with some Pokemon. I do want to get back into something like this in my other sketchbook so I can do more, almost like studies of Pokemon in a sense, so I can kind of ease my way into breaking out of drawing just human characters. So we have Lotad, we have the Buddew, and we have the Swadloon with Masaki, and these are alcohol markers as well, kind of more pastel color, kind of green and like a peachier brown tone. After that, I had a more vibrant one where I did more shading and kind of filling out the colors. So we have Masaki again, 2 chibis and 2 kind of just normal Masaki-ish derp style, kind of a normal one. I just think like I never took the opportunity to really use the alcohol markers for a lot of vibrant drawings in the sketchbook, even though the paper I feel like is kind of suited for it. A lot of bleed through. Also, this is the last spread in the sketchbook, so after this is actually the final page, and I used the entire spread here to plan out the final page. So because of the bleed through, I was sketching with ballpoint pen, so I wanted to match the front cover or not front cover, I wanted to match the inside cover on the front with this one. So I was kind of planning it based on that. So we have Wanu in still that fear era with gonna be the purple hair. I still wanted to have foliage, and I was planning out the composition of where I wanted to place him, either on the side or near the inner seam. And then I ended up with this one, and there's kind of like a bunch of notes here and there about color, and I did not take those into consideration, so don't look too closely. And here is the final page alongside with the inside cover, which I did make a video on. I will always make a video, or try to make a video, of the first page and the last page of the sketchbook, so you guys would have saw me paint this. So yeah, this is done with gouache. Yeah, and a bit of acrylic marker here for the text. But I had a lot of fun painting this for the most part, and it is the inside pocket, so I did make sure to kind of cover a little bit more so that when you're viewing it from above, it doesn't look too off. But there is stuff in the inside pocket. I usually carry around either sticky notes, stickers, loose leaf paper, anything like that in my sketchbooks. So let me show you guys. So these are all my old stickers from previous sketchbooks. They kind of just come along with me. These stickers are also from Genro, so I'll put them on the screen if you're interested. They're just Obnoctics right here. I just haven't moved them from somewhere, and I still have my commission samples from last year's con. So we have Albin and Rosemi, so I'm probably gonna have to put these somewhere else instead of shoving them into my sketchbook every time. But we'll leave these on the side. And I think that's it for this sketchbook. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my thoughts and feelings about the sketchbook while we also try to decide on a new one that we're going to start. So I really always enjoy these kinds of sketchbooks and the quality from other artists, especially from a very similar circle from this one. I've used a lot of sketchbooks from, I feel like, similar brand, if anything, so I feel like I was more comfortable with the paper at the time because of how I drew. I noticed that I didn't really use graphite as much because it requires me to put a lot of pressure using my hand to get the desired result, because the paper is kind of so forgiving for pencil. So if you draw really lightly, it'll appear very lightly, but if you press hard, you're gonna have to push in that time to make it look a lot more contrasted. So that's why I kind of opted for ballpoint pen near the end. But I think overall, still on time. Also, fun fact, if any of you guys remember these. So my peony sketchbook actually, let me check really quick. So it started on November 4th till March 28th. So it's almost like November to April. This one was from April, because it was a couple of days after that March, till November 20th. And this one's from November 22nd to, or 24th or something like that, to April 22nd. So it kind of went almost November to April to November to April till now. So let's see if I make another sketchbook tour. It might land in November. Okay, so for these sketchbooks, I'm gonna be using a notebook, and it is most likely gonna be ones that I've made. So let me see. Are these all of them? I feel like I'm missing a few. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm missing 2 of them. Okay, so in here, oh, I also have this one made by my friend. I'm not gonna use this one quite yet. It's also unopened. Maybe I'll use it one day. I'm gonna keep it safe for now, but it has her OCs on it, and it's really cute. Pastel colors here. But I have all these ones that a lot of you guys are probably very familiar with. Unfortunately, my store is still closed, and I'm planning to hopefully do a store update near mid to the end of summer kind of ish era, just because I haven't had time to make and focus on product making. So yeah, it's kind of on the back burner currently. But I have my old ones. This is actually the oldest one, and I don't really want to use this one because I like having it for my samples when I take it to conventions. Yeah, so even though I like the design, this is my night grid one. I'm not going to be using this one most likely. So let's set that aside. I have 5 left. So I'm gonna eliminate these a little bit. I don't really like this one as much. I think I could have executed this concept a little bit prettier. So it's not my favorite. I like the colors. I do like the flowers and stuff. I just think the concept was a little bit weak. So yeah, Floral Waters, not my favorite. Next up we have, I think it's Green Blossoms or Spring Blossom or something like that. I do like the color of it. I'm torn. So I don't know if I'm going to be using this quite yet, so I'll leave it on this side. Okay, so we have these three newer ones, which you guys probably have seen. So we have my Lily Pad one, my Ginkgo Leaf ones, and my Baby's Breath one. And all of these embody different color combinations that I really enjoy. I'm a blue kind of fan person. Like, I love anything blue, so this is very much up my alley. I also like lily pads and water and a kind of this teal color going on, so it's really pretty. I don't know if I'm going to be using this one quite yet. I feel like I want to save it for more of a themed one for the inside and the backside cover, but because I'm indecisive, I know I'm not going to get there yet. For these two, kind of torn. I want to go either autumny-ish because we're going to head into autumn later this year, or do I want to go with this one just because I love the color combination of this one. So yeah, I'm actually not going to decide quite yet. I think you guys can wait until I actually start the first page of the new sketchbook. So if you guys aren't familiar, this is a notebook. It does have thinner paper, but it almost has double the amount of pages, I think, than the Tricky Wagon one, just because the Tricky Wagon one does have thicker paper. This one has much thinner, so it's probably going to take me even longer. But this paper, I love sketching with graphite, so maybe I'll sketch a whole lot with it. We'll see. Yeah. Am I going to be using this one? Maybe. I feel like I'm gravitating towards this one. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's on the longer side as usual, but that's it for today's sketchbook tour, and I will talk to you guys next time. And hopefully Monday you guys will see which of probably these two that I'm going to use for my next sketchbook. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!